Hey everybody, so glad you're here. We've got another story, so lend me your ear. We'll read about this and we'll learn about that. Sit back, relax, a story time with Mr. Matt. So, it has come to my attention that for some kids, it's that time of year where we kind of need to learn the difference between tattling and telling. So, this story is called A Bad Case of Tattle Tongue, written by Julia Cook. What would that make her, boys and girls? That's right, the author. And illustrated by Anita Dufala. What does Anita do? Yeah, draws the pictures. Great job. All right, let's get into it. Bad case of tattle tongue. My name is Josh. People say I have a big problem with tattling. Everybody always calls me Josh the Tattler. Have you ever been called a tattler? Do you know what that means? Let's see if we can find out. When Tommy cut in front of Philippe at lunch, I just had to tell the lunch lady because that was wrong. When Carson took my new pencil in class, I just had to tell my teacher, Mr. Cool, because that was wrong. Nobody would sit by me at lunch, so I had to sit all by myself. Don't sit by Josh the Tattler, or he'll tell on you. So all the kids are not, they won't sit by him because they think he's a tattler or a tattletale. That's what we used to call kids that would tattletales. Back in my day, at recess, nobody would play with me, so I had to stand by the wall all by myself. It's not my fault Bobette wouldn't share the tricky bars with Edith. I had to tell, because that was wrong. At home, I told him my dog Max. He chewed up my mom's new rug, and I saw him do it. And I just had to tell on my little brother, Teddy too. He grabbed the TV remote right out of my hand. So wrong. Joshua Jacob Jones, I am getting tired of this constant tattling. If you don't stop, you're going to get tattle tongue. Tattle tongue? What is tattle tongue? What do you think tattle tongue is? Let's go find out. Tattle tongue is really bad. Tattle tongue will make you sad. Your tongue turns yellow and starts to itch. Before you know, you'll start to twitch. Your teeth will then begin to scratch. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy. Purple spots will start to grow upon your tongue, and then you'll know that tattle tongue is what you have, and tattle tongue is really bad. Oh, and by the way, each time you tattle, your yellow and purple tongue will get longer and longer. It may get so long that it won't fit inside your mouth. So his mom's telling him that this could happen. That does not sound like fun. What do you think? I ran to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and stuck out my tongue. My tongue wasn't yellow, and it didn't have purple spots. Or did it? I leaned in closer for a really good look. My tongue didn't look any longer, and it seemed to fit inside my mouth just fine. Still, I couldn't be sure. Looks like in this mirror, he's starting to get tattle tongue, doesn't it? The next day at school, I heard Billy tell Tommy that he was going to pick on Edith after school. I ran up to Mr. Cool to tell on Billy, but when I opened my mouth, all I could think of was what my mom had told me. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy. Ooh, so now he's having second thoughts about tattling. Yes, Josh, what can I do for you? Uh, I forgot, I said. Then I slowly walked back to my seat. After school, I saw Billy stomping towards Edith. I knew what he was going to do. I had to tell somebody. I ran up to Principal Gates, who was standing on the corner. Do you think he should tattle? Or do you think he should tell? Do you think this is a case of tattling or telling? Let's find out. Hi, Joshua, what can I do for you? I opened my mouth to tell on Billy, but then I remembered what my mom had said. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy. Uh, I forgot. Then I turned around and walked home. That night, while I was sleeping, the Tattle Prince paid me a visit. Joshua, I see you have a big problem with tattling. I looked up and noticed he was staring at my mouth. Just then, my tongue began to itch. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy. Uh oh. Tattle Prince? Who is that? Wait, he kind of looks familiar. Anyway, I sat up, looked in the mirror, and stuck out my tongue. My tongue was yellow, and it had big purple spots on it. And it was definitely longer. It was so long that it even poked out of my mouth when I closed it. I had tattle tongue! But this time, I didn't tattle. But I wanted to tell on Billy, but I held it all in. That would not have been tattling, Josh. That would have been warning. Billy could have hurt Edith. Warning? Tattling? What's the difference? The difference is danger. Was Edith in danger? Uh, I guess so. Then you should have warned someone. The other day, when Tommy butted in front of Philippe, was Tommy or Philippe in danger? No. Then that, my friend, was tattling. And that's why your tongue is sprouting those lovely purple spots. You need to learn the tattle rules. There are rules for tattling? There are rules for almost everything. And if you want to fix that funny looking tongue, you need to learn them. The Tattle Prince unrolled a long piece of fancy paper. Gosh, there are a lot of rules about tattling. You guys think you know any of the rules for tattling? Let's find out. Rule number 1, be a danger ranger. Rule number 2, be a problem solver. Rule number 3, now or later. Rule number 4, MYOB, mind your own beeswax. I know I've told some kids that before. Rule number 1, be a danger ranger. If a person or animal is ever in danger, you must warn someone. When Edith was in danger, did you warn Principal Gates? No, because I was trying so hard not to tattle. When danger is a possibility, it is never tattling. Rule number 2, be a problem solver. If the problem involves you, take charge and try hard to solve it yourself first. When Carson took your pencil, did you ask him politely to give it back? No, I went to tell Mr. Cool, but he was in the middle of explaining a math problem, so I had to interrupt him. He didn't like that, and neither did some of the kids in my class. Next time, see what you can do to solve the problem all by yourself. Rule number 3, now or later. Is the problem a now problem or a not now problem? Can your problem be solved at a later time? When Carson took your pencil, did you have another one you could have used? Yeah, but it wasn't my new pencil. Was it a pencil you could write with? I guess so. Then you should have used your old pencil until Mr. Cool had time to talk to you. Oh, so if it's something that can wait, meaning it's not an emergency, Then you wait to tell, so you're not interrupting class. That makes sense. Rule number 4, MYOB, mind your own beeswax. If the problem is not dangerous and it doesn't involve you, do not tattle. Like the other day when you tattled on Bobette for not sharing the tricky bars with Edith. You know about that too? Who do you think gave you your tattle tongue? When it comes to you and tattling, I know everything. The situation with Bobette was not dangerous and it had nothing to do with you, so you shouldn't have said anything to anyone. Joshua, if you don't figure this out, your tattle tongue is going to keep growing and growing. Do you think you will enjoy having a weird looking tongue that keeps getting longer for the rest of your life? No. So, if it's not dangerous and it doesn't involve you, mind your own beeswax. MYOB. If it's not hurting anyone, then it's not your business, right? Then learn the rules, kid. If the problem is not dangerous and it has nothing to do with you, do not tattle. Yes, sir. That's yes, your highness. Yes, your highness. The tattle prince grinned at me and took a shiny scepter from his belt and waved it in the air. The tattle prince pointed the end of the scepter at my face, and with a puff of yellow and purple smoke, he disappeared. I felt something strange in my mouth. I grabbed a mirror and stuck out my tongue. It was covered with tiny pieces of yellow and purple glitter. Now he's got glitter on his tongue. What is going on? Look at down here. He's imagining him as an old man with tattle tongue, and him as an adult with tattle tongue with his kids. That would be miserable, wouldn't it? That would not be fun. The kids have to carry his tongue, and then here, when he's an old man and he's all by himself, he has to carry it in a cart. When I woke up the next morning, I flipped on the light and ran to the mirror to check my tongue. No yellow tongue, no purple spots, no glitter. My case of tattle tongue was gone. By the time I got to school, I was feeling pretty good about myself. With the Tattle Prince's help, I was now an expert on the subject of tattling. You think he learned his lesson? When we lined up to go inside, Eddie pushed James and then cut right in front of the two other kids, just so he could go in first. I wanted to tell him on him, but then I remembered what my mom said: itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy, and what the Tattle Prince had taught me. Mind your own beeswax. If the problem is not dangerous and it doesn't involve me, do not tattle. I decided not to. Stuart noticed right away. He asked if I wanted to sit with him at lunch. Maybe he'll ask me to play with him at recess too. So now, because he didn't act like a tattletale, one of his friends wanted to play with him again. Because he followed those rules. When I walked into the classroom, I couldn't believe my eyes. Mr. Cool had gotten so sick and tired of everyone tattling on each other that he had written his own tattle rules on the board, and they looked kind of familiar. Rule number 1, be a danger ranger. Rule number 2, be a problem solver. Rule number 3, now or later. Rule number 4, MYOB, mind your own beeswax. He reached into his briefcase and pulled out a brand new shiny pointer. Just as he pointed to the first tattle rule, something sparkly fell on the ground. Was it? Could it possibly be? It was. It was yellow and purple glitter. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy. What do you think? Yeah, Mr. Cool looks kind of familiar. and yellow and purple glitter fell out of his briefcase. What do you think that means? I'm going to leave that up to you. So, I really enjoyed this book, and I hope you did too. Once again, it's A Bad Case of Tattle Tongue, written by Julia Cook. So if you'd like to help support the channel, you can like, subscribe, and share. And I hope to see you next time. Stay cool.